Well, hey, donut holes. Welcome to Plain Donut Sagas. Enjoy the show.
Okay.
Yay! We're back. I you know what? I always forget to download that air horn on my phone, and I think it'd be fun.
You had it downloaded.
I had it once, and then I think I deleted it.
Run out of space or something.
Yeah,
like,
my phone is like 16 gigs. It's so small.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the cheapest iPhone you can get.
I don't know what mine is.
What you got, Steve?
I'd have to look it up. It's probably 128 or whatever.
Stefan. Does anyone ever just say your name like that? Stefan Matinee?
No, they don't.
They never say it like that?
They used to, I think I've said this before on the podcast, but when I was a kid, like, I used to play, like, soccer and basketball and stuff on the playground, and, sorry, so I'm gonna just interrupt my own story right now. My dog is under my wife's blanket that's on her waist, or on her lap, on her waist. The blanket is only on her waist. No, it's on her lap. And the dog is like crawled under the blanket and is between her legs begging for things.
It's really funny. Really it looks really weird and funny.
It's a very strange moment.
It's one of those moments where I wish we had like video.
I'm trying to look at how much space
you
I
got,
have on
fam?
here. I don't remember.
Oh. Hey, and this is the Plain Donuts podcast, by the way.
Yeah, welcome to the Plain Donuts podcast. I am your co-host, Steve.
Stefan Matinee.
Yeah.
Now I have to say my name in a weird way.
Hold on. Alicia Poulson.
Ooh.
Poulson. I think it's
Alicia
128
Poulson.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stefan Matinee and Alicia
Alicia Poulson. Poulson.
This is a French podcast.
And your husband's name is Weston Poulson.
Weston Xavier Poulson.
Weston Xavier Poulson.
It's just like Les Mis, but different.
Yeah, it is.
Like really different.
It is really different from all of Les Mis. Nobody.
It's like a different part of France.
You know what's weird is I was gonna say like nobody would ever be named that like in that way, but then I was like, we have like a crazy person for president. Anything can happen.
Literally
Every single day something happens that I go, I literally never thought this would happen ever.
I never thought that we would have to be arguing about, I don't know, whether Nazis are bad or not.
Listen, not all Nazis. I'm just kidding.
Way to mansplain that, Stefan.
Hashtag not all Nazis.
Hashtag not all Nazis.
Yes!
Oh,
we are so funny.
We're hilarious. Yeah, so...
I don't know. I just can't, man. I can't what? Okay,
Ooh.
So if we were going to go to the movies like 2 years ago or whatever, and you were like, what do you want to see? And I said, I can't Ant-Man, man. That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be funny. Ant me. Like at me.
Can't Ant-Man, man.
Ant-Man. At me. Don't at me.
Don't at me, Ant-Man.
Ant me.
We're just making noises
Yeah.
now. The podcast is just noises.
The English language is pretty weird.
Yeah, so mumble rap is a thing.
Yeah.
I saw this humble parody called Mumble. That was about mumble rappers, and it kept saying, speak up, don't mumble. You know the chorus. Funny. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Kendrick Lamar.
And then I watched another one of those guys' videos where he was reading negative comments from that video.
Really?
And this one comment was like, you just don't understand that the English language changes and these people are keeping Black American language alive or whatever. And he was like, he was just like, these guys are the ones doing that? Like, this guy doesn't know. This guy thought that you blew into a cello. Like, he's not progressing the English language.
Oh, jeez.
It was really good.
Oh, man.
You're like, steer away. This topic has some race in it.
I won't go down with it. ship. I'm gonna put my hands up and surrender.
Come back, Dido!
Oh, geez. Well, lots have happened in the past couple weeks.
Lots of things
Lots have
happened.
happened.
I was late with the podcast last time, and now we're late again, kind of.
Yeah.
It's
I
okay.
keep getting these really passive-aggressive messages from Facebook, like, you haven't said anything to your 74 people that have liked this page in 3 days. I'm like,
I think I'm gonna set up Facebook integration just so that it automatically posts to Facebook when we post the podcast. Because why do we wait?
Yeah.
It used to be like an experiment, and now it's just like, I just forgot again.
Yeah.
So,
and everyone's like, where is it? And we're like, it's live, we promise.
we posted it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so
anyway,
it's kind of weird. But
if you subscribe on your podcast app.
Yeah. I think... yeah, I don't know how that works exactly, but yeah. But lots has happened.
Yeah, my wife is now pregnant since we last spoke. Well, this took a strange turn.
Just kidding. By somebody. It's not me. It might
me.
Be Steve. It might not be.
We made a video about it. And
it's really cute, actually. It's cute and fun.
Would you like to hear the video Saga? I think I probably told you already.
I know you told me it kind of took a while to get because your brother played sax.
Okay, so first we picked out the song, which was from I Love Lucy. When Ricky finds out they're having a baby, he sings this song, right? It's cute. The scene's actually probably cuter than our video. I don't know.
No way, man.
Anyway, I don't know. But, so we picked out this song, and then... Of course, it's old. There's no, like, chord charts for it or anything on the internet. I looked for it. You can't even find, like... I couldn't seem to find any, like, music, like, sheet music for it. So I just had to pick out the chords, and I kept getting them wrong. And Melissa was like, that doesn't sound right. And I was like, I know, I'm working on it. Sorry. So finally I figured it all out, and then I asked my brother if he wanted to come play sax, because I thought, that'd be kind of cool to have just a little whatever. Little fam band going on. So he came over on Wednesday after we recorded the podcast that week.
And I did not know that...
You didn't know.
I didn't know
right?
at all, and so I was shocked. I was like, huh. How Southern people, like,
when
clutch
you found
their
out.
Pearls.
You were clutching your pearls when you found out?
I was clutching my invisible pearls.
You're like, I didn't know that kind of thing went on at your house.
Know this disrespectful activity happened under this roof.
That wedding ring means something to me. Anyway, so we brought him over on Wednesday, and this whole time I'm telling you, like, I promise I'm working on the podcast. I just got a lot going on.
I was like, oh man, Steve is so busy recently. That's kind of weird, like unusual.
Yeah.
Not that your life is like totally boring and nothing ever happens to you, but you just usually have like a very routine.
I tend to be pretty routine.
So I was like, wow.
Unlike you, like jet setting to Vegas every weekend or whatever.
I just live like a rapper lifestyle without that rapper money.
That's too bad.
It's like economy seat money.
I don't know how it hasn't caught up to you. Well, there goes English. Anyway,
I already went with mumble rap, Steve.
So what happened to baby? Anyway, this is my impression of mumble rappers making their baby announcement. Anyway, so Dave came over on Wednesday and we recorded, but there were so many things. Like, I had my little lights set up to keep us lit.
Keep it lit, fam.
Yeah, we had to keep it lit, fam. So, and we had my tripod set up with my phone on a stool, and we were recording, and my brother was like, I gotta go check something on the computer or whatever. So he bumped my phone, and then he tried to, like, reset it, but it was still, like, the framing was off, and so, like, important parts of the video, you just couldn't see them. So I was like, you know what, we took, like, a bunch of takes, 6 or 7 takes of the song or whatever, and I was like, I'll just take the best one, and I'll memorize the timing, because there were some spots that were, like, timed without being part of the tempo, right? It was just, like, free tempo for a second while we pause.
Yeah.
I know that's not very musical of me. I apologize, musicians. But anyway, so I memorized most of that, but those little pause portions are hard to, like, anticipate. So we re-recorded and it wasn't quite exactly on, but it was better. So then we went back and watched the video again, and it was like every time I would play the keys really hard, it would shake the camera, and it was like
shaky cam.
I was like, where's T-Rex? Oh, he's coming! I can see the water shaking. Anyway, so then I was like, I called Dave back, and I was like, hey, do you want to come record this with me again? Because we need to. You only get to announce your first baby once, and we want to do it as good as we can. And also, can we borrow your DSLR camera with the stabilization lens? And he was like, sure, I'll have my wife come and help. And so they came on Friday, and we ate some Arby's food, and we recorded it again a whole bunch of times. I cannot believe
I just made so much noise.
Just kidding. No, and then we recorded a bunch of times, and then that was the thing that finally worked. So it's funny because it's like a minute and a half long of video, and it was this big saga trying to get it all put together. But it worked out, I think.
Yeah. Your efforts were not in vain.
Yeah, people were happy to see that after 10 years of marriage, we're finally going to have a dang child.
Dang it. Gosh dang.
My mom was excited. We told and Melissa's family, like, all of them cried. Every person we told in her family was like, oh my gosh! And they're I'm not making fun of them. That's just the way it was.
Well, that's what happened to me. I was like, oh, it's over, Steve. Friendship is over.
That would be horrible.
Would that be, like, the worst? Like, I just broke up with our friendship just broke up.
Because of a baby?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
this is weird.
What? Yeah. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
So anyway, we told my mom, and she was excited, and my dad was excited, and my mom was like, we have to call Grandma, so we called my grandma. This is all before the video came out. We told my grandma, and then, like, I was just joking around, and I was like, we're not sure if it's mine, and my grandma goes, do we care?
Oh, Grandma got the zing. Zing!
She was really great.
That's funny.
I love my grandma.
That's hilarious.
She's got the jokes.
Grandma's got jokes.
She's all, do we care? And then we laughed, and then Grandma was like, got him.
Got him. Got him. It's amazing. I want your grandma.
What if you had a meme friendly grandma who, like, knew about all the memes?
What if she does and she just doesn't want you to know?
That would be so great.
Yeah.
I would be so happy if my grandma was like, haven't seen you in a while. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. My grandma actually, she has an iPhone, and she recently downloaded Bitmoji, and she's using it, like, pretty well.
Oh, no.
Like, she has, like, the funniest reaction Bitmojis to everything, and it's, like, better than,
What's
like,
an
emojis.
example of this?
Let's
look one up, I guess. I guess let's take some time and look at our phones.
Look at our phones.
Just like, really good podcasters.
We're so good at podcasting.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a fun time. It was a fun time announcing it to people. I am a person who, like, is a very open book. I tend to, like, share exciting news with anybody, and sometimes not so exciting news with randos. Just kidding.
Randos. Am I a rando, Steve?
Totally. Completely random person.
I knew I was a rando.
Well, what can I say? It's okay. You're welcome.
Nice.
I got the kids memes. Yeah. I got the teen memes. What are the adult memes? Adult memes. What is that? Just with like special toys? Making mustaches out of special toys?
This is an example of my grandma. So this is my aunt's Instagram of a conversation of her using Bitmoji. I remember how. Teehee. Like, isn't that hilarious? Like, I think...
I like the way that she made herself look like an older lady.
Exactly. Like, isn't that amazing? Like, she actually really is...
Pretty good.
She's pretty good at using Bitmoji.
Hit us up if you want to see it. We'll send you the Instagram
Slide
link.
in my DMs and I'll slide right back into yours.
Whoa! So Nick Robinson from Polygon apparently was let go from Polygon because he'd been sliding into ladies' DMs on Twitter. And, like, he released this statement where he was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I've been using Twitter for a lot of things for a lot of years. One of those things was flirting, and I didn't realize the power dynamic had shifted when I became more popular on the internet. And so then I continued to try to flirt with women on Twitter, but then that was sort of like a famous, like a guy trying to use his power to like
get with
ladies or whatever, and it turned out to be this really gross thing, and I'm trying to be better as a person or whatever. And I'm just like
that Anthony Weiner guy.
Well, I guess, but not. I mean, when you're in politics, you should know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the same for like being a public person in any regard. I should expect my nudes to leak.
I'm gonna leak Steve's nudes.
You don't have my nudes.
How do you know?
I don't have any nudes. That's how I know.
You don't think you have any nudes.
This is getting way creepier than I expected.
Sorry, this is supposed to be a family podcast. I'm just being weird.
So
saying that I'm, I am the father of.
I don't know.
And all sorts of weird things. Oh,
my chair's squeaking. I just thought, I was like, it has to be, and obviously, like, these people weren't, like, saying, look, I screenshotted these convos I had with this guy or whatever, but, like, because, there's this weird thing in our society about, like, if you're a lady saying some guy has done something inappropriate to you, everybody has to be like, show us the receipts, and it's like,
can't we just
can't you just believe me?
Like, why do we have to get into detail? Yeah. And then it's like, well, what's the context of that? Like, what happened before? What happened after?
The crazy,
blah, blah, blah.
The crazy thing about how this all came out, it's such a weird thing. So this game came out on the Nintendo Switch, and it was a port from another thing, right? So. And it was there were some bugs to it, and Nick was, like, tweeting at the developers saying, this port is buggy. And they were like, well, we advise you to create a video, post it on YouTube, but make it private, send us the link or whatever, or make it unlisted and send us the link so we can see it. And he was like, I can't believe, like, that's so much work for just somebody who wants to report a bug. Why would you make them do this much work? That kind of thing. And he was, like, mad at them. But people were like, they're just an indie dev shop, man. You can't get after them like this. They're just trying to do their best or whatever. And then he was, and so he, like, he was, like, getting mad. And then somebody, like subtweeted, he's like, I guess they didn't send nudes or something like that, and that was how it all started. That's how it started. Yeah, because the people were like, "What do you mean?" And so they were like, "Well, because Nick Robinson is notoriously a creep on Twitter or whatever." And and then everybody all started telling their stories.
That's so wild.
But yeah, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I'm like, the thing is if you weren't using that in a sort of creepy way in the first place, like it never would have happened. Like when you weren't a mildly famous person, it's just a little weird. But I could grant the gray area where you might not know if what you're doing is that creepy.
Yeah.
I guess to me, I'm just like, why ever slide into those DMs? Like, why even ever do that? If they slide into your DMs, then it's like, oh, I see you want to have a dialogue.
Yeah.
Perhaps this dialogue could eventually extend into some kind of romantic relationship, but you started this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas it's a little weirder if he's just, like, going to, like, hot girls on Twitter and being like, yo, I noticed you hot. You know, like,
it's, like, weird. Yeah. Weird. Huh.
Yo, I noticed
you hot. BB, send pics.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Nudes for nudes? Is that a thing? Is that
ham for him?
Ham for him.
What's up, you ham for him? Sorry, Lin-Manuel, I'm like totally just using
we're like
your hashtag for evil.
Taking over your hashtag for something very uncomfortable.
Not for good.
Ham for ham. You call yours ham?
That's kind of gross,
and you
actually.
call everybody's ham?
Yeah.
Like,
this is confusing. But...
Hey girl, let me show you my ham.
Wouldn't that be amazing, though, if it was like actual ham? Like a honey baked, like glazed ham, and then someone would respond with a picture of another ham, or like a pig.
I cannot believe there aren't like English and I'm sure maybe somebody is doing this, but like English people making spotted dick all the time and just like making that joke. Like, yo, we got the best dick pics. Come check it out on our website. It's our spotted dick. It's a delicious meal. It's the thing we make the very best. Come check it out. Like, yeah. I mean, maybe this is getting a little too racy. A little too raunchy. We got the best
D and the B.
Oh, that ends it. That ends it.
Man, tap out.
So anyway,
tap out of that one.
We're having a baby.
So, you're having a baby.
I know, yeah. Everybody's like, we got that song stuck in our head so bad, and I'm like, really? I honestly, I don't think as songs go, it's like that great of a song. It's a fine song, and it's cute, and it like tells what you need to tell, right? And it was good, like, it was, like, timely in its time. It talks about, you'll read it in wind chills. Yeah. And I'm like, what even is wind chills? I don't know, just sing the words. We had to change some of it because a lot of it in the bridge section was, like, all using the he pronoun. And I was like, we're going to have to change that because it's kind of uncomfortable to just say he all the time because we don't know. And, like, it's a little bit sexist, right? Because it could definitely be a she-baby.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But that used to be, like, I remember learning literally in, like, high school, like, if you don't know the gender of something, it's common to just use he, right? Like,
interesting. I wonder if that's, like, I know that's how Spanish is. Like,
Spanish is like very masculine. Yeah.
And so, like, even if you have a group of women, but there happens to be, like, one man, and if I'm incorrect with this, Spanish speaker is more fluent than I.
No, it's hermanos.
Please. Yeah, hermanos. Mi hermanos. Hey. If there's one man in the group, it turns, like, AO into A, or AYA into AYO, like, switching the O and the A to make it more, like, masculine gender.
Yeah, it's weird. So, I get it. Hermanos is brothers.
Hermanos.
One man in a group makes it hermano. It's all brothers. Yeah. I don't know if that's
my
true.
Brothers. Oh, man.
What's up, my brothers?
Also, isn't it like El and La, right? Those are like the gendered, like, objects.
I don't know.
Like El Capitan. I
don't know.
La. Oh,
it sounds right, what you're saying, but I don't know. We should ask Aldo. He speaks Spanish.
Yeah, Aldo, my man.
He was once
Please correct me.
You want to call him? Let's call him and put him on the podcast. Give us a Spanish lesson.
Welcome back,
Tell us about how sexist the Spanish language is, because he'll go into it. He thinks he's like kind of mad, but also kind of like that's just the way it is.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening with Latinx, right? When you say that it's like a gender neutral,
because it's not Latino or Latina. Okay.
I don't know. I this is not my realm. I'm a different brown. I don't know about this type of brown, so I can't speak to it.
Did I tell the story on the podcast about the lady who asked my wife if she speaks Spanish?
No.
No? So we went to Nordstrom one day. Partially because my wife. This is when no one knew we were pregnant yet. No one knew.
You were pregnant too, Steve?
Yeah, I'm so pregnant. It's crazy. I have all these weird cravings.
What are you craving right now?
Spotted. So we went to Nordstrom because my wife was like, "You have to see the baby section. The prices there are outrageous." So she said it just like that too. So we decided to go check the Nordstrom section, and we walked into Nordstrom, and this lady like stopped us, and she's like, "Do you speak Spanish?" And my wife was like, "No," and the lady like froze and like just looked at her like,
"Are you lying?
Why are you lying?" And she was like, "Okay, bye."
Weird. That's so weird. People ask me all the time if I speak Spanish, and I say wrong brown. Sorry.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they get kind of confused. Because they're like, what other race is brown?
You know what's kind of weird is like the area that
so sorry.
What is it? Every time I forget.
The area of
where your people are from.
Oh, India?
No, because
Oh, Guyana.
Guyana,
Yeah.
that's like sort of South America, right?
It is South America.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like...
I took a DNA test. Did I tell you this?
No!
Yeah, I took a DNA test.
Okay.
Do you want to know the results?
No. Just kidding, yes.
Okay. I am 44% Indian,
Whoa!
11% Chinese, 3%...
11% Chinese?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's actually a lot of Chinese people in...
You're very
Guyana.
multicultural,
I
but
am.
go on.
And 3% Sub-Saharan African. Interesting.
Is that like...
Didn't know.
You got like 3%,
3%.
like African.
I do. I got it.
That's cool.
Yeah. What else? And then it was 20% like Great Britain. And
Okay.
then there were a bunch of
20%?
other... Yeah.
That's a lot.
And there was like 10% from Bali or something really random. I was like,
Wow.
that's weird, but the majority of it was, and interestingly enough, it was like more Asian than white.
Yeah.
So like overall,
Yeah.
like it was like 53% like
Some
Asian
kind of
area,
Asian. Uh-huh.
and so that was really weird. It's like, huh.
Mostly South Asian, because that's like 44%.
Yep,
Yeah.
44%.
Wow.
Got my scholarship. Hey.
Did you get scholarships?
I did. I got scholarships from the Multicultural Students Center at Weber State University.
I read this tweet thread from this lady who she's a black lady, and she right after high school was working at like this outdoor summer camp to teach like kids how to survive outdoors. So she's like the only lady or that was working there, and like definitely the only black person.
Yeah.
And so like she was like really excited to go to college, and so one day she was looking through the schedule and trying to decide what classes she was going to take and stuff, and this kid walked up and was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Well, I'm just looking trying to figure out the classes I'm going to take in college or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, I can't go to college. It's not free for me." And like it was just
oh my gosh.
like
What?
it wasn't like racist or accusatory, not intentionally, not like he wasn't like being explicitly racist,
Yeah.
but just he genuinely believed that black people went to college for free. And then she said, "Oh, it's not free for me either." And he said, "Oh, so do you like pay for it and then they reimburse you?"
What?
She was like,
what world do you think I live in?
so apparently there's like a whole culture of like white people in the South or whatever that just truly believe that black
That
people
is
go to college
wild.
totally for free.
Oh
and,
my god.
and it's like, what?
What?
And you just, this is just what you think is true.
Can you imagine, like, if that's one of your beliefs about what black people experience day to day,
Yeah.
like, what are some other beliefs? Like,
Well, apparently there was a lot that person and a bunch of other people that were there.
That's so
she said
weird.
eventually I had to leave. Like it wasn't the wilderness. Like I could deal with that,
Yeah.
but the people there, like I just could not
yeah,
get to
be
used
so
to them.
like disconnected from facts, I
Yeah.
guess, is so like, and it's not. I don't know. It's not like people are being. Well, maybe they're being willfully ignorant. But, like, when you grow up in an environment where that's literally what everybody else... But, like, why would you believe any different? Which is crazy to me. Like,
is crazy.
There are so many people that believe it that you 100% think that if you're black, you can go to college for free.
Just for free. Just because.
Just because. Wow.
It's crazy.
That's
But
not how
anyway,
affirmative action
you
works.
did, but it's not. But you did get
did.
scholarships?
I did get scholarships, but... Most of my scholarships were merit-based off of grades.
So you say.
So I say. I say.
Based off of good grades?
Yep, good grades.
I got okay grades in high school.
ACT score mostly.
I got a decently high ACT score. I think it was math that pulled me down because I didn't study the math portion.
I got 32.
I think that was mine as well.
And then I got my first 2 years of college were free.
I think that was
Because-
mine. I got a really high score on the English portions.
I got English, reading, and the writing portion 100%.
Yeah, I think I did about that too.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure, but yeah. And then I passed my AP English class, or the tests, I mean, and I got really good scores on the English tests, and my teacher wrote me this note. She's, because it's after high school, they just send you your results when they get them during the summer, and she's like, good job on these tests. You really rode your talent. Great job. And I was like,
thanks.
Thank you. This is the same teacher that told me at the very end of my senior year, she said, if you had worked this hard your whole year, you would have been the valedictorian. And I'm like, I think I just needed some encouragement, like earlier, you know, like
That's
not
so
a week before I graduate, but
you know, speaking of valedictorians, I read something recently that mentioned that they were just average in the end, just like everybody else.
Interesting.
Like after like even high school and college valedictorian, they graduate and they end up just being average people.
I can tell you I'm very average in nearly every way. You can guess which ways I'm not.
Hey.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just kidding. I don't
has
I have
unusually large ears.
I have
just kidding.
One
Your ears are
unusually long toe.
That would actually be so weird if you had a really long toe.
Just one
toe
of them that was pretty long.
Like not your pinky toe, but like the second smallest toe was just larger.
Yeah, like your ring toe or whatever.
So we have like names for our fingers, but our toes don't get like.
Pinky gets one, and your big toe is.
And then the other one's just like, average middle toes, just generic.
Yeah, generic toes in the middle of the foot. It's just a generic toe.
Is it true that if you don't have a big toe, you can't like properly balance?
Yeah, you can't balance.
Wow,
it's weird.
That's weird. Yeah. So we have like our pointer, middle.
Wouldn't that be a horrible way to
pinky.
like ruin your enemy's life? Is just be like, I'm not going to do anything to you but cut off your big toes.
Yeah. That's such a specific way to mess with someone too. Or I'm gonna rupture your inner ear.
I don't know if
can't,
that's true.
Like, balance. Properly.
Honestly, I don't know if that's true about your big toe, but it feels true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to my feet like very often, but it would be weird to suddenly just not be able to stand up normally.
Well, hey, Donut Holes, it's your co-host, Steve. Welcome to the middle of the episode, wherein I extol the virtues of this show every darn week, or for this summer, every other week. Hey, just wanted to let you know, as usual, thank you so much for listening. We really, really appreciate everything you guys do for us, all the feedback you give, all the enjoyment you take in the podcast, and I don't think that should go unsaid. If you do enjoy the podcast and you want more episodes, you can always find all of our episodes at yourplaindonuts.com. That's YOUR, plaindonuts.com. You can go there, find a link to literally every episode ever. You can also find links to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And we'll post about the episodes usually every time we're going to be making them, if we're going to be taking questions that week about a topic or whatever. We'll post that on Facebook and Twitter, and if you want to get responded to, our Facebook and our Twitter are the places for you to post your questions and comments, and we usually will get to most of them on the show. Lastly, if you, like I said, if you do like the show, it would be wonderful of you to share the podcast with a friend, somebody you think would like it, somebody you found who enjoys your sense of humor may as well also enjoy our sense of humor. So show them the show and be like, these are some funny people, or these are people I hate. You should hate listen with me. We don't mind a good hate listen. On that note, the last thing I would love to ask you to do, huge favor, go on to iTunes, find the Plain Donuts podcast there. You can find links to it on every episode from yourplaindonuts.com, and leave us a rating and a review. That just helps us out getting in front of Apple's face and saying, look, we're a new cool podcast. Tell people about it. Okay, I think that's all I have for the middle of the episode. Thank you for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You have to tell me about your eclipse saga.
Yes.
I said saga a whole bunch of times tonight. Everything's a saga.
It felt like a saga.
It's all so dramatic.
Dun, dun, dun. We were there for totality, and now you have to add like an echo, effect onto that later in post.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
I don't want to work that hard.
Okay.
Boom. Boom roasted.
Boom roasted. You got me. Got him.
Got him.
We drove up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we went there on the 21st of August for Year of Our Lord 2017, and we saw the total eclipse, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of, I don't know, I was a little bit soured at that moment just because we had a rough time getting there, which I'll explain in a minute, but it was really neat. Like, it was pretty light until literally the moment before the moon, like, covered the sun. And then it dramatically, like, the temperature dropped like 15 to 20 degrees. It got really cold, and it was dark outside in the middle of the day, and you could see the stars, and it was neat.
You could see the stars?
You could see the stars.
That's crazy.
It was really crazy, yeah. And then the corona of the sun was neat. And I wanted to make a joke about the corona with the corona and lime, and like hold up a lime next to the sun and take a picture, and I thought that would be really funny, but I didn't have a lime, and that wouldn't have made like a good joke anyways, I don't think, because taking a picture of the eclipse was really hard. So
yeah, there's some cool pictures of it though.
There are some cool
NASA's pictures of the eclipse are pretty dope.
Dank.
The dankest eclipse memes. NASA's got the dankest of eclipse memes.
Yeah, but it was cool. Definitely, if anyone has a chance to see it, I think the next one is like 2024. I would recommend seeing it. It was cool. I probably won't see anything like that again in my life, so it was neat. 10 out of 10 would eclipse again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice one. So tell me about what happened.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Going there.
Yeah, so we drove my car up, and...
Your Honda?
My Honda, and we were driving along.
You also have a Chevy that Otto drives,
yes,
right?
So we have two cars, which is good, because if we only had one car, we'd be screwed.
We're lucky we can do that.
Yeah.
So lucky.
So lucky. But we were driving in Idaho, and we were near Malad, Idaho. Malad, yes. The city of Malad is actually the full name of that town. And we're driving along, and all of a sudden we hear like this super loud, like clanging. I don't know. There's like a bah, like a bang underneath the car. We're like, oh, that's weird. And then Otto was driving. He's like, oh my gosh. And I look around, and there's smoke just like coming out of the car.
Oh no.
And he pulls over on the side of the highway immediately, and we both get out, and the oil just starts flooding underneath our car, like all over the road. So we're like, oh gee, we definitely can't drive this because this is broken. I don't know very much about cars, but I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be on fire either.
Was it on fire?
It was not on fire.
Oh good. I was like, what?
That was probably the next step if we had not pulled over as quickly as we did. But had to call our USAA Emergency Roadside Assistance, which is nice. It's really nice. This dude named Marv came out and was like really angsty about having to like work on the day before the eclipse because it was so busy because of the traffic. Everyone kept mentioning after we pulled over and before I had called anybody, the sheriff pulled over, the Utah, Idaho, like transportation people pulled over and were asking us if we were okay and if we needed anything, and apparently lots of people had been breaking down near it kicked.
No, that was just my belly.
I felt it. But it was crazy. And so we had to get it towed back to Malad. Marv was like, it's Sunday, so everything's closed because Sunday in Idaho / Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So we wait. And a friend of ours, shout out to Jake, thanks Jake, drove like an hour and a half up to Malad to get us and then took us back to our house. And when we got to the house, we're like, okay.
On Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday night. Now it's like 10 o'clock at night when we got there. Like, all right. So we can either stay here, but we'll have to go up and get our car regardless. Like, so we might as well just go up and see the eclipse and then come back, because we're going to have to pick up the car anyways.
Yeah.
So we fill up Otto's little Chevy Sonic with all of our stuff. After we went back to Malad and got it, then we drove up to Jackson Hole, and it was really dark, and it was 3 a.m. We're like, we have to stop and, like, go to sleep. We can't just keep going.
Yeah.
And so we pull off the side of the highway, and we just sleep outside.
In a tent?
Next to the highway.
Wow.
Like homeless people.
Wow.
And it was...
That's pretty dope.
It was so
Did
loud.
Otto make a fire?
No, because and I didn't realize this at the time, but we had pulled off, and there was a huge drop next to, it was like a cliff face and then a river next to us, but it was so dark outside that I couldn't tell what was what. So we slept outside. We were there maybe 2 hours before. It was 40 degrees outside. It was freezing. I was cold. Otto couldn't sleep. And we're like, let's just pack up the stuff and leave, because this is miserable and sad.
How far from the highway were you?
We were, like, right next to the highway. Like maybe 10 feet.
50 feet, yeah.
50 feet? No, it was 10 feet. It's like 10 feet. Otto doesn't know feet.
Okay, great.
But...
Are you guys gonna, like, have a big
We're gonna have a huge
argument?
fight. We're actually separated right now.
Stop.
But we get back in the car, and we go to Jackson, and we sit in Starbucks, and I work in Starbucks for, like, 5 hours before the eclipse.
You worked for 5 hours?
Yeah, it was before the eclipse happened, so I just sat down and waited till it happened, and then we were like, cool, we saw the eclipse, and then we got back and got my car.
Wow.
All within 24 hours.
So you didn't stay anywhere,
We
really?
didn't stay anywhere, no.
That's...
We didn't really sleep or anything. It was just kind of...
Man, you really
crazy.
sacrificed to see the eclipse.
I did. I don't know if there's like an eclipse like topics page, but I feel like we sacrificed the most for the eclipse.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the most experience points.
Yeah.
Going to the
XP.
eclipse.
Eclipse XP.
Yeah.
And those are actually bonus, like 2 times worth what normal XP is.
I mean, what class does that XP go to? Like just
I don't know,
like
actually.
like traveler
class, or like a strength class, because we had to like pack our
to
stuff
be strong.
up.
So you're warriors now.
Yeah. But so it turns out with my car, the oil plug underneath in like the oil pan,
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten my oil changed like 3 weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
at the dealership, so they didn't actually put it like screw it in all the way, so it just fell out. And that's why. So my
that
plan
happens
is,
more often than you would think. Actually,
yeah, I was like Googling like how do I sue the dealership to get them to pay for my bills, because when I went to pick my car up, they're like, yeah, if they're like saying that nothing happened, let us know and we'll vouch for you and say that this is what we documented and it was like not installed properly.
Uh-huh.
So, and they were cool because they didn't charge me very much, even though they like towed the car and like fixed it and everything. So that was dope. Thanks, Marv.
When Marv finished bringing your car, did he go, "Told ya"?
No.
I said that to Otto earlier, and he got really mad.
Well, he's got
He didn't really.
He's got no sense of humor, and that's why we're separated right now.
Oh my gosh! Stop. Alicia's getting beat.
I'm getting beaten, and that's even more reason to.
So you had to call him today and be like, Otto, will you take me to Steve's?
Yeah. I know you were not talking at all, but I really did it right.
It's really bad.
These
jokes aren't funny.
Yeah, they're funny to me. So, so yeah, that was our Eclipse Saga.
Man, so many sagas.
Better than the Twilight Saga for sure.
Yeah, still a better love story than Twilight.
Sleeping on the side of the road, having our car break down. Malad's a totally weird city. We bought a lottery ticket.
Oh yeah?
So
did you win?
I don't know. We gotta check the numbers. I can check them right now.
Yeah, let's see. Let's check and see if you won.
What I got.
Do you have the ticket with you?
I have it in my car.
Oh, well, how will you know? Did you memorize the numbers?
I memorized like 2 of the numbers. And if at least 2 of them match, I'll get kind of excited. Because I think you win If 3 of them match, you get a certain amount of money. You get like $1,000, which is cool.
Yeah, that's $1,000 is significant.
Yeah.
That's serious money, homie.
Serious money. What would you do if you won $1,000?
Buy microphones. Just kidding. No, my wife she just gave me a teacherly look. Like, no, you wouldn't.
Let's see. 6,
because we
7,
got a baby on the way.
16, 23, 26, and 4. 4
No?
is the Powerball number. I actually think that I have 26 and 16.
So are you kind of excited right now?
I got 2. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that gets me anything.
So you didn't match the other numbers? For sure.
For sure I did not.
Okay.
Continue to Powerball.com. What is
life?
What is
Why are we waiting for you to figure out if you
I don't know.
won?
I think... Wait, this is the old numbers. Give me the newest numbers, dog. Anyways, I don't know. Who knows? And then if you won the power, it's actually up to $700 million right now. Which,
whoa!
Obviously with taxes, that's like half of it, so $350 million. But
so wait, August 23rd, 2017, Google is saying the Powerball numbers are 06, 07, 16, 23, 26, 04.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you say those were old?
Oh no, just when I went to the Powerball site, it gave me like the numbers from the 13th for some reason, or the 14th.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird, but
Oh, okay. So you don't win anything for getting 2 numbers?
I don't think so. I think you only get it for 3 or more.
I see.
And 3 is like, I don't know, 3 is 1,000 or 4 is one of them. I don't know. I memorized whatever. So
I don't know. Lightning could have struck. What if you won? What if you won all?
I don't know what I would
crazy.
do. I would just. I shouldn't be responsible for that amount of money.
A lot of people who win the lottery end up going bankrupt,
Yeah.
actually.
I was reading some articles today about how the first call you should make to be to an attorney, not even to come and claim your... Because you have 3 months to claim your winnings from the lottery. So you make a call to an attorney who sets up like a trust and all sorts of things to get ready to like collect the money. Then once that's all set in place, then you can go and be like, here's my winning numbers. And then you get the money and do whatever. But $350 million is a lot of money. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so much. I can't even count to $350 million.
I mean, I can't even count that high. Of course not. It would take a long time.
But you know what, Steve? I would get our podcast what it really deserved. I would get ourselves billboards. And
oh man, that'd be so bad.
Actually, with
we're not ready for
money,
that, Jelly.
I could like make my own Avengers movie.
You could, yeah.
Whoa, that's weird to think
You
about.
could fund.
I could fund an entire Avengers movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Would I do that though? I would be like, all right, we're cutting back on snacks. We gotta like economize here a little bit. We don't have any room to budge in this.
You're like, no crafty on this one.
No, ScarJo, you cannot have a fancy trailer.
Sorry, all the Avengers share one trailer.
It's team building activity. Because you're a team. I don't care if it's all CGI. And you're all put in next to each other with CGI or whatever. Whoa. Woo.
Sorry, I keep yawning for some reason. And I'm trying not to do it out loud.
It
is after 9.
It is after 9 o'clock. Is it your bedtime?
It's 9:13. No, it's not my bedtime.
When's your bedtime?
I don't know. 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I can't sleep, like 1:30 or 2.
Whoa. Wild.
Just because I'll be in bed like, I can't sleep.
Yeah. Now, in like 9-ish months, or wait, no, like 6 months?
Yeah.
You won't sleep because you got a new human in your house.
A new human?
A new human.
That's so weird.
You're making it, that never existed before, and now it exists.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's
like,
weird.
Out of nowhere, kind of.
Boom, boom, party starter.
like we just like mixed up some DNA, and it's like, look, a baby.
Baby. It's a baby.
Look how weird this is.
That's kind of
Elon
crazy.
Musk is like, he like has said before that he wouldn't be surprised if we lived in a super advanced computer simulation, and I was like,
what?
that doesn't matter though, like, because I still have to like live my life.
Yeah.
And if that's
also, if it's an advanced computer simulation, why does my life suck? Wouldn't I want like more of that?
You got all zeros. I got a mixture of ones and zeros. You just got all the zeros.
All zeros. Could have all zeros.
I don't know. I can't. It doesn't make. That's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Like,
except for you weren't inconceivable. You were conceivable.
I get it. I'm conceivable.
Technically, who's the one who? I guess Melissa is the one who's conceivable.
Well, she's the conceiver.
Conceiver. So are you
We're
both
conceiving.
conceivable? Now this is weird. English is weird.
Well, conceivable would be the object of conception.
Yeah.
So that's the baby that's conceivable.
The baby is
so
conceivable.
Everyone's conceivable.
Yeah.
Man, you're trying to make me like parse sentences right now. I'm not diagramming the sentence.
I want to
for
diagram if a baby is conceivable or if the.
Want to diagram DNA? Okay, so what did you do when you found out that you were like mostly Indian?
I don't know. I took a picture and I sent it to my dad, and he's like, "Yep, sounds about right."
Wait, is one of your parents white mostly?
My mom is the one that's mostly white, but apparently not half white. She's got a little bit of something else in there that makes me less than. Like I'm like 40%.
You are very multicultural.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm technically awesome. What the average American will look like in 20 years. I think like most Americans will be of mixed race. Yes.
No!
Oh, sorry, Nazis. I'm your worst nightmare.
So bad. Why does it? I don't understand why that matters. Like I have heard arguments about like
white preservation.
Yeah, like
they know that Europe exists still, right? And like Russia and Ukraine, like those white people who live here now came from somewhere else.
Well, they're like, we want to retain our culture, and I'm like, why is your culture tied to your skin color? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I'm curious about what white culture is.
Well, in some places it's like pills and. Otto has an idea of what it is.
Guns,
guns
slicing
and
up
killing,
bananas,
maybe
stretching out some noodles. Oh, that's not our culture. You got it all wrong.
Guns and stretching out noodles and cutting bananas. Yeah. That's what white culture's all about.
Actually, that sounds about right. White culture is saying, "Oh, this ketchup is spicy."
That's racist. That's straight up racist.
It's funny because I met someone who was like that.
Really?
They thought toothpaste was spicy.
What? No! Come on.
Well, I almost hit back in my chair from laughing.
No. No, because like... It's like, have you ever even tasted a jalapeno? Like, yeah. I feel like one taste of jalapeno and you'd be like, oh, that's right. Ketchup is definitely not spicy. So bad. Because even jalapenos are kind of weak. I've had jalapenos where I was like, meh.
Yeah.
I've had some chili peppers where I was like, that's strong. So I usually, if we go to, this is stupid. If we go to In-N-Out, I usually eat like 4 or 5 chili peppers. Because I'm trying to train my mouth. Because I figure one day this podcast will make us super famous, and I'll have to go on Hot Ones on YouTube. Ooh. And that means I'll have to eat like progressively hotter and hotter things while I talk to Sean Evans.
How come you're the one who goes on Hot Ones?
Well, we could go together,
okay.
I guess. Fine.
Would I go on something else? If we were to like...
No, my co-host and I are separated.
We're separated right now.
We never do interviews together. Yeah. That's where the money comes in, and you ain't paying.
You ain't paying. So what's this AdSense revenue that you got going on this YouTube video?
Let me help you. Let me help you tweak your AdSense revenue so you get the most money.
Most money possible.
I think it's like, if you're willing to ride the wave of trends, it's probably kind of easy to make like AdSense revenue just by like making videos quickly about topical things that are like
about
right
like
now.
Trends. Like if you were keeping on top of that sort of thing 24/7 and like able to pump out like clickbaity type lists things all the time.
That kind of stuff, like I mean, it sucks because the content would be very bad, but the problem is well,
I guess that's the end of the podcast.
I don't even care. I had to go to the bathroom.
nice.
This is why we're separated. They're following him. That's hilarious. Oh, it's like echoing now. That's even better.
Well, it wouldn't have been a podcast without the dogs erupting in barks.
That was amazing.
Oy vey. So anyway, yeah, it's one of those things where your content wouldn't be that great, but the problem is you're not trying to gain an audience. You're trying to like just gain random viewers for all the things.
Oh man.
Wrap it up, Steve.
Anyway, this is we're going on much too long.
Okay.
Okay, well, I love you, Plain Donuts audience.
Oh. Oh. I love you too. I love you more.
Okay. It's been a fun one. It's a little late. Okay.
I'm Alicia. That's Steve.
I'm your co-host, Steve, and that's your co-host, Alicia.
and
our producer, Otto, went away with our dogs, my dogs chasing after him.
This has been sponsored by Sprite Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Taste the Zero.
Okay, goodbye!
Bye. Bye. Bye.